Radiating from the Lone Star State and stretching from coast to coast and border to border, this is OnRadio, the weekly download from your family of companies: CMS Wireless, Enertech, ET Tower, Legacy, and Mountain Wireless. Welcome to OnRadio.
Well, good morning, Ontivity family. We are here with you again today, and it's kind of a special version because it surrounds our gratefulness, and we're a grateful nation, and our thanks as a nation began a long time ago when people either have a bounty or need, and they got together and they shared with one another because they were thankful and grateful. And in our country, there's faith, family, freedom, and work, and we not only embrace those concepts, we just are grateful, and we want to talk a little bit about that, and we want to talk about the history of Thanksgiving. And I'm really happy that we are joined today by our CEO, Joe Cecin. Joe, welcome aboard, and I'm grateful for you, man. How are you?
Thanks, Jim. It's great to be here. I'm grateful for you too, and grateful to the Ontivity family for everything they do every day.
All right. So we're going to talk a bit about Thanksgiving, and I was shocked. I got some Thanksgiving trivia that's pretty cool. Like, you want to play 20 questions, man?
Sure. Let's go.
So, according to Americans, in kind of an overwhelming survey, what's the best part about Thanksgiving?
Well, the best part about Thanksgiving is probably getting to dessert. After
Bam! It does surround food. Overwhelmingly, they said leftovers, and I'm like, and I was talking to Ethan and the Hangster, and I was like this second day sandwiches are way better than yesterday's turkey, and and when the dressing ferments a little bit, and Grandma's dressing or Mom's dressing comes out and has a little bit more flavor that second day, it's like amazing.
Yeah, so, that's very true. I love a turkey sandwich on day 2 or 3.
I concur with all Americans there. So they've been playing pro football for a long time now. What professional football team has played almost every Thanksgiving Day since 1934?
Well, there's a couple of contenders, but I think it's the Detroit Lions.
Bing, man, you slammed it home. Yeah. Now the Cowboys play, and hopefully the Vikings are going to beat the Patriots on Thanksgiving Day, but we're not going to talk about that today. But there is a parade that's older than the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. What city do you think it came from, and when?
Wow. That's great trivia. I would have to say I'm going to guess Boston, just because of the the Mayflower and the Pilgrims up there, but I'm not sure if that's right.
Dude, I would have said that too, but I was shocked. It's Philadelphia, and it started in 1920, so way back then. So, wow. And then I was another. It's a number one, and nobody's ever going to get it right, but it's an interesting piece of trivia. How many turkeys do Americans prepare every Thanksgiving?
Oof. Well, I think there are about 150 million homes, but people gather, so it's going to be less than that. I don't know, 50 million.
46 million. Bam! You slammed it home. And bringing up dessert, they also have 50 million pumpkin pies. Can you imagine the mountain of pumpkin pie and how much whipped cream? We're taking care of the dairy farmers. So
that's a lot of pumpkins.
88% of Americans actually eat turkey on Thanksgiving. Now the other ones are probably having prime rib or I don't know, maybe not. I don't. But one final one. Do you think the turkeys actually gobble?
Not the turkeys I've heard.
Only the males gobble. It's the Jakes and the Toms that are the noisy ones, and so the hens kind of get a bad rap, but because it's actually the noisy Jakes and Toms.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it was awesome to talk about Thanksgiving. I'm really looking forward to leftovers, but really what we're here to talk about is the Ontivity family, and it's hard to express how grateful, how thankful we are for that Ontivity family, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And those of you who are watching this and maybe listened in on our safety call this morning, I hit a couple of the themes knowing that this is the last safety call before the big holiday. But in addition to encouraging all of our family members to be careful on the roads, because I think something like 40 million people are traveling for this holiday, I did express a lot of gratitude to the folks at the point of the sword, doing what they do every day in, day out, in harsh weather and good weather, both, in the field and climbing the towers, and the
Oh,
folks
for
behind the
sure.
scenes making things happen from an administration standpoint. So very grateful for what our people do day in, day out.
Aren't they awesome, man? I try to come up with some other words for thankful, because Thanksgiving is about thankfulness. And one of the things that I thought is that we're grateful. And what are we grateful for? And I started to think about it, I'm like, I'm really grateful for our core values,
Yeah.
especially when we talk about safety, because safety is not a list of rules that we give out to say, you must, you can't, you will, it's not that. We actually teach our folks to think about themselves and their crews first. And so I'm grateful for our core values, and safety's that first lead one, isn't it?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Jim. In fact, one of the things I led with is I'm thankful that I came to a company that had already established safety as its core value, right? So, we have a long history of safety at the center of what we do. And, it's not just in our work life, it extends to our personal life as well. So, yeah, very, very grateful to be part of a company where that's at the center of our culture. We had an interesting debate, a few weeks back as we are doing a bit of a refresh on our, mission and values, which we'll share with the team internally at the turn of the year. But, we talked about our people and safety and, should one be first? And, out of that meeting came this great phrase, if you put safety first, your people are never second. And I truly believe that. And, again, yeah, I'm grateful to be part of a company with safety as its core value.
Yeah, and as a core value, it's not something that comes from outside, it's something that comes inside. We empower those people to think about safety before anything else, so that they don't get in that unfortunate, position or circumstance where somebody does get hurt. So I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, me too.
So it makes me also appreciative. I'm appreciative of our tower climbers. They kind of get the headlines, and they're the sky cowboys, the road warriors. They're the road guys. They're the gals who are tougher than any other gals. It's amazing to me that these folks get out on towers and do what they do. So I'm very appreciative of them as well.
It's really, it's kind of the definition of grit, right? it's getting out there and doing what is an inherently dangerous job, but doing it safely. Thinking about safety first, and incorporating that as part of the day to day. But yeah, it's amazing whenever I see the videos of our guys doing what they do.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Yeah. And another word for safety, I'm gratified. I'm gratified by our accounting in our office, in our back office folks who enable all of us to do what we do, and they take care of our customers. And they're in many ways the unsung heroes of an organization that is striving for excellence.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about football earlier, which is probably the ultimate team sport. I mean, this is a team sport for sure, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, without the folks on the administrative side, talking to customers, paying our bills, collecting for the work we did, we wouldn't have a company, right? So it does
Exactly.
take folks at all ends of the spectrum to make this work. It's a true team sport.
Certainly. And being part of that team is amazing. But then when I look out and the work they do, I look at our generator technicians. I feel indebted to them. But people don't understand that it's not just telecom and 911. They also do hospitals and nursing homes and any skilled facility or any essential facility where you're, if you're ever working if you're ever working on a computer, our standby power folks, they made it reliable, and I'm indebted to them too.
Yeah, I mean, think about when you need it most, you need
Yeah,
that portion of the infrastructure to work, and it's because of the efforts of our generator techs. They keep things going, and it really comes to the fore when there's a power outage or a hurricane or storm of some sort that takes down the first layer of infrastructure. So yeah, enormously important work.
certainly. And our folks, typically and always, they're the folks who run into the storm. And so I am indebted to our generator technicians and our power folks. So, I talked a little bit about the older technologies that some of our folks are still involved in the repair, replacement, and troubleshooting of, and that's the microwave network. We've got radio and microwave folks who've been doing this on technology that stretches back into the 50s, and we're much obliged to them because they really are the backbone of America's wireless infrastructure, aren't they?
They are, yeah, very thankful for what they do. A critical part of communications and transportation infrastructure
Yeah.
around the country. Not a lot of folks with as deep a skill set as our team has. So, very grateful for what they do to keep that infrastructure up and running.
Yeah. And so as I look across the whole spectrum of our Ontivity family, I thought about the words that are kind of after Thanksgiving, and um, we're not really content with where we are. We're not satisfied. We're still hungry. We still want to grow. We still want to run hard. We still want to make our customers like ecstatic and thrilled and delighted with what we do. But I'm content and satisfied kind of with the progress of our family and the people in our family over the past year. Can you elaborate a little bit on that and why you think that our folks are the best?
Yeah, so I mean, I've used a phrase in the past, Jim, and maybe it's just semantics, very similar to what you're describing there, which is pleased but not satisfied. Which is, let's celebrate, the progress we've made, and very pleased with the team we have, the culture we're building, the opportunities set in front of us, but never satisfied with how much more we can do to take care of our customers, take care of our people, and grow the opportunity set, for our company. So I sort of fall back on the pleased but not satisfied, always hoping to make things better for our people and our customers.
Yeah. And with that in mind, we get a lot of things right, and I am so thrilled. One of the things we get right in America is that we celebrate Thanksgiving on the third Thursday of November. Now, up in Canada, they didn't get it right. They get it on the second Monday of October. That's just too early. The turkeys aren't ready. The pumpkin pie is not seasoned well yet. And I'm just so grateful for our country and all the things that we really take for granted. And so this is a shout out on Thanksgiving to our soldiers who are not home, who are out on the front lines in defending our freedom as Americans. And so I'm thankful for those guys. And I know you've got something to say about that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said something similar at the beginning, Jim, but, I'm very thankful for family, friends, and freedom. And that last one, we can never take for granted. I sent a Veterans Day communication a few weeks ago to the entire Ontivity team and got a lot of responses, not just from, veterans, like myself and like many other people on our team, but a lot of families out there with loved ones in harm's way, whether it's a son, a daughter, aunt, uncle, mother, or father. So, yeah, a lot of folks can't be around the Thanksgiving table. We have to always remember them and the sacrifice they're making for all of us and this great country that we love.
Certainly. And our final closing point today on our Thankfulness Day, I want people to know we're thankful every day, but we are especially thankful this time of year, and we're thankful for the families who they wait by the door, they wait on the porch. We work incredibly hard in the Ontivity family, and we're sometimes away from home for longer than we want to be, but they're never forgotten, and we always are grateful for those families, aren't we?
Absolutely, Jim. Yeah. Much the same way as we're thankful to the military families, we're thankful to the Ontivity families who make a sacrifice when their loved ones are away for, whether it's a couple of days or even a couple of weeks at a time, working on very important projects, sometimes in very remote locations under, somewhat hostile weather conditions and other conditions. So we know that that's not easy, and we don't take that sacrifice for granted. Very thankful for that.
Yeah, and we don't care if you're dropping a turkey in a fryer or closing an oven door or starting a generator because your power went out. We want you to know that we're grateful for you, and we want you, even on Thanksgiving, to choose safety today. Thanks, Joe, for coming on radio. This is Jim, and I am out.